everyone, it's Enjoy English School.
Yay!
Today is September 13th. It's page 28 and 29. Today is day 2 of the book club, titled All the Light We Cannot See.
那我们今天在28、29页9月13号的地方，我们要接续昨天呼唤奇迹的光。
So yesterday we looked at our book and we learned a little bit about World War II, especially in France, and how the Germans were interested in hearing what the people in France were saying, because if we hear what you're talking about, we know what you're going to do, and we can go stop you.
那我们昨天讲到二战的时候，我们这个故事背景就是德国人他们在窃听这个法国，他们在用这些香肠族啊，或用这些播放 radio 啊，然后想要知道说法国它接下来的计划是什么。
And in fact, in the American military, there was a saying for this. They used to say, loose lips sink ships. So loose lips means you talk too much. You're saying too much. And then maybe someone bad can hear what you're talking about. And then they can know where you're going to go. They will attack you and kill you. Loose lips sink ships.
那这边呢，跟战争有关系，有一个英文里面一个蛮有趣的讲法，就是所谓的你 loose lips， 你嘴巴闭不紧，你说溜了嘴，那你就 sink ship， 那你的船就被沉了，可能就被打到，然后就沉船了。其实就有一点像是 the walls have ears， 隔墙有耳的感觉。
Yeah, honestly, usually it was like there's like a pretty girl and you want to show her something cool, so you tell her, like, she's like, oh, tell me, Mr. Soldier, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we're going to go here tomorrow. And then she like runs to her boyfriend who is a German soldier and boom, and then you die.
所以这美人计啊，
Yes. It's like a spy thing. Okay, with that, let's hear our story. And when we come back, we got day 2.
All the Light We Cannot See. Anthony Doerr is an American author from Cleveland, Ohio. Critics have praised Doerr's writing for his short, sharp sentences and attention to detail. His first book, The Shell Collector, was a collection of short stories that was released in 2002. Many of its tales were set in Africa and New Zealand, where Doerr had previously stayed. His second novel, All the Light We Cannot See, was published in 2014. It quickly became a New York Times bestseller and won a Pulitzer Prize for fiction. The amazing novel gives readers a look at the ugly face of war. Throughout the book, we see how war can destroy people's lives in the blink of an eye. Characters such as Etienne and Marie-Laure's father disappear in an instant and are never heard from again. However, war is also shown to bring out the best in people. The characters who survive must show great courage and strength when they face challenges. Another important idea is the importance of science and technology. Doerr suggests that technologies, such as the radio, are helpful to society if they are used with good intentions. However, if technologies fall into the hands of evil, they can cause great destruction.
All right, friends, let's look right away at paragraph 1. Anthony Doerr, don't worry about his last name. It sounds like doer, like I do my homework. Doerr is an American author from Cleveland, Ohio.
那安东尼·杜尔是一位来自 Ohio， 就是俄亥俄州克里夫兰市的一个美国作家。
When you look at the map of America and you see those 5 really big lakes, Cleveland is really close to one of them. It's roughly there. So it's cold and snowy.
很冷又下雪的一个地方啊。
Critics have praised Doerr's writing for his short, sharp sentences and attention to detail.
那他精简明快的这个叙事语句，跟他对于细节的这个注意，受到了书评家的赞誉。书评家就是刚刚老师讲的一个 critics。
Now, I like this phrase here, short, sharp sentences and attention to detail. It's very clear, about his writing style.
所以 short, sharp sentences 不好念哦，因为两个 sh 加在一起，但这边的这个写法是很有趣的，就代表说很简洁，然后很 sharp 就是代表说它非常明快的意思。
The opposite of short, sharp sentences is a run-on sentence.
Run on.
Yeah, run, 连字号 on, run-on sentences.
run 一杠 on.
That's right. And that's just like blah, 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 逗号 blah, 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 逗号 blah, 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 逗号。
就很冗长的意思。
Yeah, I'm really bad about this. I always try to be short and sharp, but I'm not. 废话。
我觉得老师都没有办法 short and sharp.
Some are good at it, but I'm not. I'm really bad.
I think I'm also really bad at that.
Yeah, but then again, like you said, teachers, we need to talk.
We
right?
have to elaborate.
Tell more. Say more.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue here. His first book, The Shell Collector, was a collection of short stories that was released in 2002.
那在这边我们看到的 Shell Collector 也是斜体字哦，代表它是一个书名。所以它的第一本书《拾贝人》捡贝壳的人，是一部在2002年出版的短篇小说集。
What were you doing in 2002? Were you like in third grade or something?
I was 9 years old.
Oh my God. I was like halfway through college. Yes, and that's we were talking off the air. That's when I was working at Subway.
Oh,
There we go. So, yeah.
所以2002年老师在 Subway 工作。
Yeah, and I was in college, and you were in what grade? 9 years old? Third
Like
grade? Yeah,
third
like
grade.
second grade?
对啊
second
，23年级的时候。
Let's go. Oh my gosh. Many of its tales were set in Africa and New Zealand, where Doerr had previously stayed.
那其中许多的故事背景设定在非洲跟这个 New Zealand 纽西兰，那杜尔曾经待过这些地方。
Okay, so I'm going to highlight were set in. When something is set in a place, it means it happens or it just the story happens there.
所以
You're
就
not
代表
really there.
故事背景设定 set in 在这个地方。
Yeah, and we could say the tales happen there. Now, tale just means story, but it almost always feels like magical. We know the
Fairy
word.
tale.
That's exactly right. A fairy tale doesn't feel like a real story. You know there's magic, you know there's monsters or witches or something strange.
Yeah, 所以 fairy tale 其实就是我们讲的那种，就是fairy tale 中文是什么啊？
Fairy tale.
突然间忘记了。
儿
童话。
There we go.
对，童话。那但是 tale tell 这个字其实本身就是故事的意思。
那个动物的 tail is Tail. That's right. You like? Do you touch your cat's tail a lot?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just kind of hold it. I don't pull it. That's very bad.
不可以拉猫
But
的
if you
尾
just
巴。
hold it, your cat will not like that.
不会我妈妈不会。
Really? I hold my cat's tail. Just hold it a little bit, and they'll say, "Stop it." Stop it. Let's continue here. His second novel, All the Light We Cannot See, was published in 2014.
那他的第二部小说呢，《呼唤奇迹的光》，也就是我们这一课讲的这个小说，是在2014年出版。
So I was in Taiwan at that time. Huh. You were like in what, ninth
High
grade?
school.
High school. Oh, God. How am I so old now? All right. So All the Light We Cannot See was very successful. A lot of people talked about this book. I remember hearing about it. I even saw it like on TV. So this was a really famous book, but I didn't read it at the time.
所以在2014年，老师说他有印象，这个是一个很 popular 的书。
Yeah, it was a popular book. It quickly became a New York Times bestseller and won a Pulitzer Prize for fiction.
哇哦！所以他这本书很 popular 嘛，我们刚刚讲过，所以他快速成为了《纽约时报》的第一本畅销书，然后呢，还获得了普利兹小说奖。
Now, New York Times is a very big, popular newspaper around the world.
Yeah.
A lot of times you could just say the NYT. It's also called the Old Gray Lady because for a very long time they didn't have any pictures and the words were really small. It was a very thick newspaper. And it's cheap here in Taiwan. It's super cheap.
Is
like
it?
back home it's expensive, but here it's cheap. I think because they want to encourage people to start reading it here. So it's really cheap. Like I get it here. It's like 15 NT a day.
可是为什么它叫 Old Gray Lady？如果它字很小啊？
So because it was, and think of a newspaper, no color. Today,
没有颜色。
newspapers have more color. But for a long time, the New York Times did not have pictures. They did not use color. The newspaper was so popular. The words were so small. It was that white kind of newspaper color and lots of black letters. So it was very 灰灰的. And it was just called the Old Gray Lady because it's an old newspaper and it's very gray.
Then why is it a lady, not a man?
The old gray man? I don't know. Why was it a lady? Because 应该是重男轻女这样子的. Maybe it's like that, right?
重男轻女，所以他觉得这个不好，所以他用女生来当代名词。
I don't know, because it's like, I don't know. That's
See?
a good question.
Minnie asked a good question.
I'll actually write them. I'm going to write them. Say, why wasn't it the old gray man?
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to be like, shut up.
而且我觉得读那个 newspaper 人大部分都是男生吧。
那会了。All right. We're totally run here. All right. And then lastly, Pulitzer was actually a newspaper publisher, and he was a bad dude. But he later tried to do good stuff, and that's why we remember him. He actually encouraged the war.
Oh.
So.
OK， 所以普利兹他是一个战争的鼓励者，所以老师说他是一个不好的人，但因为他也设立了普利兹奖，所以就有点把他的名声有点搬回来一点点。
Yeah, he tried to fix himself, which I suppose is good, but he's bad. Okay, let's get ready for paragraph 2. Welcome back to Enjoy English School. Minnie.
Yes.
You're going to have a baby soon.
Yes.
And are you okay telling us, will you have a boy or a girl?
I'm having a boy.
And so when you have a boy, what color clothes will you wrap your baby in?
Blue.
Huh? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because baby boy, use blue.
Okay. Did you know that about 100 years ago, well, maybe a little more, in the late 1800s, every baby wore white. And in fact, I saw pictures of my mom when she was little a very long time ago, and she wore all white. And the president of the United States at that time, you could also find his baby picture, and he also wore all white. They looked the same. One was a man, one was a woman, one was a little boy, one was a little girl, and they looked the same. Everybody wore white. There was no pink, there was no blue clothes for babies.
Yeah, I think I've seen the picture before.
And you've seen this picture?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, why did all babies wear white?
Because
there were no diapers. 没有尿布。就是答案是这样子。Every boy and every girl wore white because babies poop. And you couldn't wash clothes very easily. So you would use like bleach and you would clean the clothes that way. Also, all boys and all girls wore skirts because there were no diapers. You had to wear like cloth diapers. And so that way the poop and peep can just fall and it's easier to clean. But later, you could buy pink and then you could buy blue. But 没有感觉. There was no boy for blue, pink for girls. It's just like one day this man was making like a picture and he put the baby in blue and he put the baby in pink and it became a popular picture. And so 那个时候这个人就乱拍的那个东西 that became the standard.
所以老师说，从以前最原始的时候，小孩其实是所有的东西都是白色，因为他们没有尿布，他们必须要知道小孩什么时候要赶快换尿布，所以白色呢是最容易看到是不是这个小孩尿尿了或便便了，然后颜色不一样，他就可以去做洗的动作呢，漂白也不会有那种染色的问题，所以都用白色。但后来呢，为什么男宝宝会用蓝色，女宝宝会用粉红色，原因是因为有一个摄影师，他就是刚好，其实他也没有分颜色，颜色本来就没有性别，但是刚好他就把那个拍照的时候的那个小模特儿，然后男生穿了蓝色，女生穿了粉红色，从此以后大家就觉得，女生的东西要买粉红色，男生的东西要买蓝色。
Yeah, in fact, 事实上 in the past, pink was more boys. 粉红色比较 boys because 粉红色 blood. Like 你去打猎这样子. So it was usually men were like red and pink.
Red?
Yeah, red. Also, I'm very pink. Minnie had a good point. Said, why did we tell this story? Because this all happened like right at World War II. 我没有这样子讲。事实上，这个都差不多是那个 World War II 开始的。
所以我们刚刚讲那个颜色的故事，它就在二战那个时候大概开始。
我忘记说哪一块。
It's okay.
The amazing novel gives readers a look at the ugly face of war.
所以我们第二段的开头，他说这部令人惊艳的小说让读者们一窥战争丑陋的那一面。
Throughout the book, we see how war can destroy people's lives in the blink of an eye.
那整部书当中呢，我们看见战争如何瞬间就摧毁了人们的人生。
That's a very nice phrase we can highlight, in the blink of an eye. That
In the
just
blink of
means
an
very
eye.
fast.
就代表说你眨眼之间，然后就发生了。
Characters such as Etienne and Marie-Laur's father disappear in an instant and are never heard from again.
那像是艾提安跟玛丽罗尔的父亲等人物，突然间就消失了，然后呢就杳无音讯了。
This is called to be disappeared.
被
To
消
be
失。
disappeared. That's right.
Oh
so
my God.
people will come to your house and you don't tell anybody because if you do, you're next.
所以不能讲啊，不然你就会是下一个目标了。
Yeah, that's right. However, war is also shown to bring out the best in people.
However， 看到这个就知道转折。刚刚在讲很灰暗的东西，接下来我们要稍微明亮一点。所以战争呢，也表露了人们最好的那一面。
Maybe it shows you who you really are. Are you really a good person or are you really a bad person? I think war forces you to be true because if you don't, you're going to die.
对，战争就会让你的真面目显露。
All right, the characters who survive must show great courage and strength when they face challenges.
那存活下来的人们呢，就必须展现卓越的勇气和力量来面对挑战。
So this is a great phrase right here, just like Minnie said. So 面对那个 was it 挑战? Face challenges. Underline that, and face just means to see them, right? To do your challenges, to accept your challenges.
对，所以在这边 face 我们当动词哦，它不是脸的意思哦，它是面对的意思。
All right, let's come back and we'll start paragraph 3. All right, friends, let's begin our final paragraph. We're on pages 28 and 29. Another important idea is the importance of science and technology.
那另外一个重点呢，是科学和科技的重要性。
Now, we can underline or highlight technology, and we can say technology is usually uncountable. It's usually uncountable. So 你可以划到 and 你写下来，那个通常是不可数。
所以科技 technology 这个字，第一要注意读音，因为老师在教学的时候发现很多人 technology 念起来会很奇怪。再来第二要注意 technology， 通常我们看到这个字的时候，它都是不可数名词。
But let's look at our next sentence. Doerr suggests that technologies, such as the radio, are helpful to society if they are used with good intentions.
那但杜尔呢就指出，像是收音机等科技呢，在利益良善的时候是对社会有所注意的。哎，立刻就打脸，有没有？啪啪。
Yeah, so we have technologies here, and this is plural. When we use technologies as a plural, usually 我们在加强 we're emphasizing or stressing
不同的科技。
one kind. That's right, this kind, not all kinds of technology.
就像我们说 fruit 或 food 通常是不可数名词，但你要强调说很多不一样种类的食物、不一样种类的水果的时候，我们会加 s 的意思是一样的。
The dirty secret of uncountable nouns is you usually can make it countable. 那个意思比较特别. I never tell my students this.
因为他们就会乱用。
Yeah, well, yeah, it doesn't help. So I'm like, 不要加 s. All right, so in the future, they'll say I lied to them. Okay. So society, of course, we know that just means everybody around you and our rules. This SOCI, it just means social. It's you're a person that likes to talk and work with other people.
SOCIAL social 老师刚刚讲的字就是代表社会的或社交的。
You know this because social media.
Studies.
Or, okay, social studies,
社会
social
科
media.
social
Okay.
media 也可以啦
Yeah,
社群媒体，他们应该比较懂 social media。
Yeah, but what does it all mean? It just means other people.
对，
You
就代
work
表
with
说
other
你跟
people.
别人一起。
All right, let's continue. However, if technologies fall into the hands of evil, it's cool. They can cause great destruction.
那不过呢，倘若科技落入邪恶的人的手中，那就会造成极大的破坏。
So there was this guy. So yesterday we talked about, remember there were no cell phones, there were no computers. Everybody had a radio. And people did not have TVs, but TVs were invented.
所以我们昨天有讲过故事背景，1930年，人们他们没有手机，但他们其实是有电视的，只是买不起。
That's right. You couldn't really buy it. Even a really rich person would not buy a TV because there were no TV stations. There was nothing to watch. You went to the movie
一个
theater.
空壳啊。
That's right. But the man that invented the TV felt his invention was very, very evil. He hated his own invention.
哦，所以他创造这个电视的人，他觉得他自己是一个很糟糕的人，很邪恶的人。
He hated his invention, the
为什么？
TV, because he was a person that really loved to learn, and he felt TV took away from his learning. And he felt that it was a very big mistake the way TV was used. He actually forbade, it's a very strong word, the opposite of allow, forbade his children from watching TV.
所以创作做出电视这个人，他用 forbade 这个字，老师用 forbade 这个字是说代表极力的反对他的小孩去看电视。
Forbade is the past part, is like the passive, right? F-O-R-B-A-D-E. The verb is to forbid. F-O-R-B-I-D. So you are forbidden. That's a very strong word. It's the opposite of allow. If your mom and dad forbid you from doing something, you don't want to do it. They're going to be mad at you.
紫禁城，中国大陆紫禁城叫 Forbidden City 啊。
Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh.
所以禁止的禁
There we go.
就是 forbid。
I like the Chinese name better. English is okay.
Doesn't
Chinese
make
name is pretty.
sense.
Yeah. All right, let's go to our vocab review. All right, friends, it's time for vocab review. Our first word today is to praise.
这边我们当动词 to praise 就代表说去赞誉某人，但 praise 也可以当名词，也是赞赏、赞誉的意思。
Number 2, to release.
Release 就是说它发布了，它出书了、出版了，就用 release。
Number 3 is previously.
Previously 就是先前的、之前的。
Yeah, we know PRE means before.
Yes.
Number 4 is to destroy. Archie, the noun is destruction.
那 destroy 跟 destruction 呢，一个是动词，一个是名词哦，它们都是破坏的意思。
Next, number 5 is to hear from.
那 hear from 呢，就是听到某人的消息，所以 Hey, I haven't heard from you so long. I haven't
Heard
heard
from.
from you so long. Haven't heard. 所以我很久没有听到你的消息嘞，所以 hear from.
And our story, it's really terrible. We never hear from them again. It's
杳无音讯嘛，就是代表说再也没有他们的消息了，这样。
Next, number 6 is courage.
所以 great courage， 我们这一课用说 show great courage， 就代表说他展现了极大的勇气。
Bravery. You know the word brave? 你后面加 ry, it's a noun. Number 7 is technology.
科技
And remember, it can be countable or uncountable. Usually it's
通
uncountable.
常不可数。
In number 8, we have society. And that's countable and uncountable again because English likes to be hard.
所以 society 有时候是可数，有时候是不可数，那就是社会的意思。
All right, and with that, we are done for our story here today. We will see you soon again on Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.